How do you refute King's Gambit traps if your opponent plays them? If you are facing the King's Gambit and wondering how to counter the traps your opponent might set, you are in the right place. The King's Gambit begins with the moves 1, pawn to e4, pawn to e5, and 2, pawn to f4. This opening is all about white sacrificing a pawn to gain quick development and control of the center. Understanding how to respond can turn the tables in your favor. First, let's talk about the purpose of the King's Gambit. White aims to develop pieces rapidly and launch an attack, often focusing on the semi-open f-file. However, this aggressive approach can lead to mistakes. One common blunder is when white plays 3, pawn takes e5 after the moves 1, pawn to e4, pawn to e5, 2, pawn to f4, and 2, pawn to d5. If black responds correctly, this can lead to serious trouble for white. One effective way to counter the King's Gambit is through the Falkbeer Countergambit. This involves black playing 1, pawn to e4, pawn to e5, 2, pawn to f4, and 2, pawn to d5. By offering a pawn back instead of accepting the gambit, black can put pressure on white. If white plays 3, pawn takes e5, black can respond with 3, queen to h for check. This move puts immediate pressure on white's position. Another option is to accept the gambit with 2, pawn takes f4. This can lead to complex positions but often neutralizes white's attacking chances. By slowing down their development, you can create opportunities for your pieces to coordinate effectively. Preventing white's attack is also key. Focus on quick development and controlling key squares. This means playing moves that challenge white's central control and preparing to develop your pieces. For example, consider developing your knights and bishops early to create a solid position. Be aware of common traps that can lead to quick checkmates. If white takes on e5 and exposes their king, there may be chances for black to deliver a swift checkmate. Additionally, watch for situations where white is forced into moves that weaken their position or lead to material loss. By understanding these strategies and being prepared for common traps, you can effectively refute King's Gambit traps. Quick development, central control, and awareness of potential pitfalls will give you the upper hand in your games.